Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's quiet the brain's chatter to reflect on what matters. Mental health is everything in a world full of actors. That's why you gotta stay woke. If you form toxic buzz, they gotta be broke. Whether it's enemies, friends, or family folk. Wellness is the wealth. Love yourself and show it care. And make sure anybody else do the same and keep it there. Keep the toxic on the low. Use your throat chakra more. Surround you with the best pole to keep your head up facing north. While departing from the need to be understood, right and light, and embracing the sensation of just experiencing life. Loving and respecting, honoring, not neglecting the parts of ourselves that process what we stressing. The generational trauma, the being struck by the drama, the being a person of color in a hot pursuit in the summer. It's enough to drive you crazy, have you bouncing off the wall. Shout out to SG Mental Health Counseling for answering the call. Now let's talk about it.
Greetings, my beautiful people. We coming to you live once again at SG Mental Health Counseling down at Tallahassee, Florida. Before we get started, please give us a follow on all social media platforms at SG Mental Health CO. Once again, before we get started, please give us a follow on all social media platforms at SG Mental Health CO. This podcast is for a mature audience, so if you're younger than 18, please have permission from a guardian or have somebody sit down with you. I don't need nobody in my DMs snapping on me and stuff. So you know how we do this. For those who don't know, I am Christian Brown, an MSW student at the notorious HBCU that sits on the highest of Seven Hills. And today's topic is centered around empowerment, what it looks like, and how to embrace it when dealing with your life. Today's quote is forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. And this one is a special one today, y'all. We have a special guest, Miss Rolanda Brown Dennis, a registered clinical social worker intern, MSW field director at the Department of Social Work at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, owner of Martha and Me, founder and CEO of Community Helpers for Children and youth director of Manifestation Wellness. There we go. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. If you can, please tell us a little more about yourself and your titles as a LCSW intern, MSW field director, and the businesses that you own.
Okay. Well, so I have been in the field of social work, well, actually in the helping profession for over 20 years. And as a MSW field director, I actually encourage, guide, empower, enlighten our MSW students, Master of Social Work students, as they embark on their journey into the social work field, helping them navigate professionalism, but then also navigating their own self-care and making sure that they are paying attention to themselves, setting boundaries for themselves, setting boundaries for others, recognizing their triggers, self-awareness, identifying, areas where they may need, guidance, therapy for their traumas, things like that.
That's awesome.
Thank you. With my other businesses, I have Martha and Me. It is a holistic approach to self-care as well. We do body butters, moisturizing facial oils, bonnets, just different things to take care of like the physical part of you. And then with Manifestation Wellness, we are a virtual wellness platform where we focus on wellness coaching. And we incorporate sound healing, breath work, mindfulness, and yoga. And so I've just combined Manifestation Wellness and Martha and Me together because Manifestation Wellness is a holistic approach to self-care, self-development, and things like that. I found that individuals talk about self-care a lot, but they really don't know how to put that action in place. And so I attempt to think outside of the box and help them tap into, that. And Community Helpers for Children and Youth is a child and community activist organization. We actually work with local providers and sparking self-care for the employer and their employees. In the social services, social work arena, a lot of times you'll find that these individuals that are nurses or clinicians, case managers, they're pouring their all into the community, helping their clients, but who is pouring back into them? So it's like we have these healers, but who is actually healing the healer? Who's helping like replenish them? There's a multifaceted amount of branches that impact our lives. And if I could just kind of chip off some of it with at least teaching them how to remain calm and care for themselves, just put some things in place to help them on a day-to-day basis, then that's what I can do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. On working, everybody on the live right now, where can they purchase some of your body butter or the items that you sell?
So for right now, they can go to the website, www.manifestationwellness.com. If they scroll to the bottom, it will say Let's Connect, and they can actually put in their email address so we can add them to our email blast. So once we open the doors back up for purchasing, they'll be able to see, they'll be the first ones to get notified.
Okay. I have a few questions from some of the viewers, and I have a few questions from myself. Start things off. I know you teach empowerment at FAMU. What made you get into that, and what does that look like for you?
So I'll answer what that looks like for me first. So for me, I believe it's important to have self-validation. I think we grew up in a society where we look for others to validate how good we are through TV and social media. It's kind of like we're trying to, keep up with everything that's going on, and we lose that sense of self. And so having that empowerment is getting your power back, having the right to know that you are good enough, increasing your confidence, having that support. And when you are empowering individuals within your environment or within your community, you're giving them that space, you're giving them that right to move on to their goals and their dreams. Sometimes we get stifled and think like, okay, I can't do this because of whatever is happening, in their life. But if we allow them to think outside the box and give them the tools to not put limiting beliefs on themselves, it makes them stronger, and then they can see how they're reaching their goals. And then in that is that power, that empowerment. So it's me giving that back. Well, maybe not giving it back, helping the individual recognize that they always had it, and yeah, kind of going from there. And what made me get into empowerment was just some of my experiences that I had within the community, seeing things that clients were going through, things that colleagues were going through, and even my own personal experiences. You work super hard to earn Employee of the Month, and when you don't earn it, you feel like you're less than, or just something as simple as that can really overshadow what you really think or feel about yourself. And imposter syndrome can be a really big thing. And so I knew that myself, I am a healer. I like to speak with individuals and help them see the better side of themselves, their higher self, and move forward in it. So that's how I got into it. And things that I enlighten other individuals on, I've actually incorporated, as well. Not saying that just because it worked for me, it worked for them, but I'm not asking them to do something that's outlandish, just the basic foundation of life and how, things operate.
That's awesome. So I'm viewing it like you are sparking that flame up that they always have.
Right. We want to remove the things that don't align with our purpose and then stick to what the purpose is for our life. And I like to think of it like, a sponge, right? A sponge is dry. And as you are pouring into it, it's soaking all of that up. And as it's overflowing, it pours out, right? Well, if you squeeze it, you can squeeze out the things that you don't want, but then the sponge is still damp. So it's keeping the moisture that it needs. So that's essentially how we are as individuals. If you think about from birth, a child doesn't know the things that it needs to know or should know. All the influences from their environment or from social media or TV shows or just all of these things are soaked up, into them, and you lose your way. But when you start to dismantle the things that are not working for you or that don't align with you, you're able to have a clear picture of like who you are, what you actually want to be, regardless of what others, may think or feel, and, move forward and see that growth.
That's deep. That's deep right there. So with the businesses you have, how important is it for you to empower yourself while being an entrepreneur?
It is very important. I will say, the phrase "get it out the mud." I have definitely got it out the mud. I did the research and just the behind the scenes. You hear about entrepreneurship and everyone's like, oh, you can work for yourself and blah, blah, blah. Listen, it's a lot of late nights, early mornings, and you're still working, your own job. But it's so great to be able to see what you've been able to produce through your creativity and the natural healing that it provides, and then be able to see others just enjoy it as well. It's not like the money is the main motive. Like, okay, the money is, it's nice, but it's being able to have individuals use a nice natural body butter with fragrances, essential oils that are going to help, with the softening of their skin or, things like that. But it's also a gateway for me as well. If I've had a really busy day, it's nice to sit and whip up some body butter, and it's almost like, another form of meditation. So yeah, you just kind of let your mind go, and it allows you to practice that patience, because you definitely have to be patient when you're an entrepreneur, because things don't happen, right off the back. It's not like we see, Louis Vuitton or Kate Spade or Gucci or whatever, and it's well known. Everybody knows the name. Everybody's going to flock to it and spend buku's amount of money on it. When you're a small business entrepreneur, it may take a while and years of grinding to just get that recognition. Like, oh, wow, you've been around all these years. And it's like, yeah, I've been doing this since 2018, and it can take a while, but you definitely have to stick to it. It makes you question yourself. And so this is where the mindfulness comes in, because you can engulf your brain with a lot of negative thoughts about why someone's not coming to your website or why someone's not purchasing, your item. But, Kylie Jenner is selling the same thing. You get what I mean? And you have to practice that mindfulness of not allowing those negative thoughts to even penetrate any deeper in your mind. Like, as soon as you recognize them, replace it with a positive phrase or a positive thought, and go from there. So entrepreneurship is pretty major for me. As you can see, I keep adding stuff on.
So what's your goal when you empower an individual at the MSW level? What does that ideal person look like if they apply what they learn into real world situations?
For me, what it looks like is someone that's giving themselves a chance. that has not boxed themselves in, that is exploring the talents that they have and tapping into that. And what that may look like in the future, if they are, practicing these things, it's going to look like confidence. You may not get that job, but when you went in there, you were confident in knowing that you deserve to be at that table. You deserve to have that interview. It just may not have been right for you at that time to have that position, but that's not something personal. So it looks like having that strong self-confidence, having the skills and the knowledge to know that you can go out and pour into other people's lives, but you don't have to sacrifice yourself at the same time. And that's why empowerment is so big, because burnout is real in our field. However, if we are teaching our students the important practices to put in place to help them out, it does not have to be a thing, or it doesn't have to be as traumatic for them. I'm not going to say that burnout's not going to happen at all, but it'll give you the ability to realize, like, okay, you know what? I need to take a step back and let me take some time off, or let me set new boundaries for myself and uphold myself to it. It looks like a more competent social worker.
I like that. So how important is it to manifest, and how did that play a role in your life now?
Woo, goodness. Listen, the fact that I'm even sitting here on this podcast with you is just proof that manifestation works.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. You have to speak your life into existence. Okay? You have to journal that thing. You have to speak it. You have to think it. You have to do your vision board. I mean, you have to even imagine yourself in it. And so when I first started to really be intentional with manifesting, I felt like, okay, am I crazy? Is this really gonna work? But once again, those are the negative thoughts. So it took practice. It took a lot of dedication. It took a lot of self-discipline. I had to stop doing a lot of the things that I was doing before, because where I wanted to go, the environment didn't support that. So I had to switch those that were around me, the activities that I participated in, what I put into my body, what I put out of my mouth, and the thoughts that I had. And it's just amazing how when you start walking in your manifestation, when you start believing that, oh, it's coming to me, you don't have to know when it's coming, but just believing and knowing and putting step by step behind it that I got this, how quickly it comes to you. And so, like I said, being here on this podcast is a prime example. Me being at the university is a prime example, because I actually spoke that. I was talking to my husband and I was saying how it would be really awesome if the department brought me on to work with their interns. And I want to say it was probably like March of 2001 that I said that. And yeah, within a couple of months, I was there, and I was just like, wait, is this happening? But it was like, yeah, it's happening. So you asked for it. It's here. Let's go. We have work to do. So I encourage everyone just to, get into your own quiet space, closet, or, what have you. I spent many days in my closet, journaling, writing things down, going to Walmart and getting poster boards, And at the time, I didn't have like magazines to cut out anything that represented, what I wanted. So I would look it up on Google and print it out. But another way of doing it, you can do a digital vision board. Go to Canva and get, your pictures and build your board that way. And I always encourage individuals to put your board where you can see it every time. So if it's digital, you can take a screenshot of it and that's your screensaver. So anytime you can feel yourself like, oh, my day's really not going good, you look down at that picture, or when you come home, right in your bedroom, it's right there, or it's in your kitchen or wherever. It's a constant reminder of like, no, we have stuff to do. We don't have time to entertain the negative thoughts that we have going on right here. We're going to stick to the positive. And every morning I get up, I open my blinds and I immediately give gratitude for at least 3 things. Anytime that maybe the day is going a little rough, I stop and I think of at least 3 things that are positive. Anytime someone's coming to me and they're like, oh, my day is this, and I stop. Tell me 3 good things that you are grateful for, because you have to get in that practice. And so even now, before people come to me to try to tell me anything, they're like, well, let me tell you the good stuff. And it's like, yeah, because that's what I want to hear, right? Those are my boundaries for myself. That's how I keep myself manifesting. Because if I'm allowing all the negativity to come in, even if I'm not bringing it, other people's energy coming into my space can come on to me. I don't need you slowing up my manifestation. So we're speaking nothing but positive. I don't want to hear gossip. I don't want to hear drama, none of that stuff. So that's how serious manifesting is for me. And that's how serious I want others to take it in their life, because it is amazing the things that you can do when you believe that you can do it, when you ask for it and then you receive it. It's absolutely amazing.
I'm gonna have to use that for sure. I'm gonna have to. So what made you get involved in social work?
Actually, social work definitely chose me. And I came to the realization that being an instructor was a part of my purpose. Starting back when I was in middle school, I was working with children with disabilities for, as volunteer hours. And then just through beginning my career, I worked in early childhood, being a teacher there. And then when I embraced social work, I taught foster and adoptive parents, training them on how to work with children that have been in traumatic experiences, that have been removed and are now in the care of the state. And then now here at the university. And so it definitely chose me, and I had to learn to embrace it. And then really listen to what the universe was telling me, like, this is what you need to do, and this is how you need to pour into others. The willingness to be the vessel, I don't mind being the vessel to pour into God's people. And that's essentially what I have been doing. My words are not my words, they are His words. My actions, are His. So when I am speaking to my classes and things like that, it's information that He has guided me to do. And my prayer is that He continues and that He's satisfied, with my work. But I thoroughly enjoy being a social worker. And there's so many different things that you can do in social work. Once I realized that, I even got more excited. I was just like, yes, because I love my coins. I'm about my coins, but I'm also about my people too. So
Yeah, we need more people like that for sure. So what about meditation with the many stressors and conflicts with what you do? How big is that for you?
So meditation is definitely my top thing. It is a practice that I attempt to do every single day. I try to do it at the same time. I try to like start my day off with it, because during my meditation, I'm able to set my intention, what I'm intending to do and what I am intending to receive. And it allows me to just be grounded within myself and just operate in the moment, like live in the moment. Don't obsess and anxiety about all these other things, because all I can control is me. I can't control the other things around me. So that meditation helps me stay calm and grounded and stable in that. And I've actually been working with my daughter. She'll be 12 years old tomorrow. And we have been meditating together. We have been doing some asanas and prayers and just having a good old yoga time. And I've seen how it's been able to really benefit her as well. And so, just for me personally, it allows me to be less reactive and process the things that are actually happening before reacting to it, and then going from there. Everyone always says, "You're always so positive. You're always smiling." And I'm like, yes, because my life is happy and that's how I want it to be. And I'm not going to allow anything to disturb my peace. I'm just going to keep, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Go from there.
So with the many accomplishments you achieve, what is your goal as an individual for yourself and the community?
So, my goal as an individual is to break generational curses and build generational wealth for my children and my grandchildren, my nieces and my nephews, to be able to, and wealth doesn't mean just finances. I'm looking to build or lay a foundation for my bloodline to be able to grow from and learn from and benefit. Everything that I do, my children are able to be a part of and actually, see that. And it's not just me that is doing it. My husband as well, who was actually the person that introduced me to yoga and meditation and all of that. Yeah, he actually introduced me years ago, and I was just like, "You're weird," but began to embrace it. Yeah, I was like, "Dude, what are you doing? Why are you just laying there like that?" But I know the importance of being able to have a foundation to grow from, and I know that my ancestors fought really hard to be able to leave a legacy, to be able to leave something, whether it was tangible or not, in a cultural aspect or what have you. And so I am looking to elevate that and take that to the next level. And so that way my children can take it to the next level, and then their children can do the same thing. And so, that's why I work as hard as I do. And I have the number of businesses that I have. It's not really for me, it's for my bloodline. I'm willing to sacrifice myself and do that work so that way they can benefit from it and grow from it. As a community, I am looking to, what I want is for people to say, it's okay for me to heal. We have a lot of adults that are walking around with unhealed trauma.
Yeah.
And in that unhealed trauma, children are being born. And that trauma and the experiences from that trauma is being passed down. And I think, from things that I have been able to assess and interact with in the African American community, therapy is kind of taboo. It's like, We're not telling nobody our business. We're not doing that. We just gonna keep that in the family, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. It's okay to heal, because when you heal, when you're cleaning out that festering wound, you're able to be your most divine and highest self. Healing is not easy by far, especially when behaviors that are learned. This is what you've known, all your life, and you've seen your mom do it, and your grandma and your grandpa and everyone else. But I want from my community to realize that it's okay to heal and start putting action behind that, and then reach back and help the next person to be able to do it. And so, even if it's just one family, or one individual, I'm okay with that. I try to be as transparent, open, and honest with my students, and helping them see that before we can go out in our community, we have to tap into ourselves and see, what areas we need to heal in as well. And so I would like to have the same thing for the members of my community. It's okay. It's okay to go to counseling. It's okay to heal. It's okay to have healthy discussions with your kids. It's not back talk. These are humans. Even with my kids, it's something that I had to practice, because I grew up in a military family, and it was just kind of like things were different. And so with my kids, I had to practice more of a conscious parenting, where I was more aware of like what I was doing and what I was saying, and paying attention to their body language and the words that they were saying, and not having them have this stifling fear to communicate, right? If our kids are comfortable and they know that they can talk to us about anything, not just some things, but any and everything, and ask all the questions, then I know that either we're going to learn the answer together, or I can give them a healthy answer, and that could cut out the middleman that's giving them unhealthy information. And so those are the things that I would like my community to embrace. And any way that I can bring that to their attention and help them embrace that, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So with this process, how is this being a Black woman?
Oh, Lord. It's a beautiful thing. I will say that. It is a very beautiful thing. I don't know that ever in my life I did not want to be Black, or I did not want to be chocolate. My nickname was Hershey's when I was growing up. So I don't know that I ever did not want to be Black. I do remember having, some interactions because of that, but it still never made me feel like, okay, I don't want to be a Black woman. I think that being a Black woman has, it makes us face challenges that we should not have to face, where we have to prove ourselves, even harder than the next person, which is really unfortunate. But once again, I have to assess the society that we're living in. And I'm up for the challenge. I've been up for the challenge. I've been doing it. I learned that I don't have to wait for an invitation to someone else's table. I can build my own. And that's exactly what I have been doing in my career and with my businesses. I have been employed in places where I didn't feel like my Blackness was respected or appreciated. So for me, having that experience, it's like, okay, I'm going to build my own table. But in me building this table, I'm going to invite my sisters to come and eat. We're going to eat, and we're going to eat good. We're going to eat in luxury, because I know that I'm not the only one. And the only way that we can just redirect the experiences that we are having is by empowering the next, and then also inviting them to the table, you know. But they gotta want it too, you know. You gotta be careful, but they have to want it too. So trying to build a tribe, you know, a solid team. But I love being a Black woman. Like I said, it has its challenges at times, but it's like, you know what, I was built for this. So okay, let's go.
Awesome. For those who are waiting to obtain their social work degree and listening to people that tell them there's no money in social work, what advice do you have for those people?
Run. Don't listen to that, because that is so far from the truth. And then there's this phrase of, well, we're not in it for the money. Well, I gotta eat, and I gotta pay my bills, and I gotta take care of my family. So I'm definitely here to earn my coins as well. But I say, do your own research. Do your own research. Find a mentor, find a coach. There are Facebook groups out here that support other social workers with knowledge. Look into different trainings. Identify the population that you are wanting to serve, and look at how you can tap in to that population from different angles. It's definitely money out here. Definitely. There are people out here making 6-7 figures working in social work. You know, some of them have master's degrees, and some of them are licensed clinical social workers. But nothing is going to come easy. You have to work at it. You have to get your certifications. You have to do your trainings. Yeah, you're going to end up putting some money out to get that, but it's an investment in yourself. Because, and I'm not trying to step on any toes, but we'll put money on our nails and in our shoes and in our hair and in our purses and luxury cards and everything else. It's okay to invest in yourself. So when you are putting this money into yourself, into your trainings, into your certifications, and you're out here tapping into these various opportunities, you're good. You know what I mean? So for those that are just starting out in the field, or maybe they haven't even gotten into the field yet, they're just starting out in their academics and of social work, start taking it serious about what is your goal? What does it look like when you're working with a client? Not like, what do you want to do, you know, in social work? Oh, I want to help kids. Okay, how? How do you want to help kids? What does that look like? If you're not sure, do your research. Do your research, obtain those certifications, get your trainings in order. And like I said, tap into some of the groups that are around. There may be even some local in their city that they can tap into and get a mentor, get a coach, you know, things like that. And if you're getting financial aid, put some of that money to the side. Don't max out your financial aid, and then, you know, spring break, you all in Miami or Panama City and blah 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 blah. Like, nah, put you some change to the side that's gonna help you pay for these trainings, because then, you know, that's gonna help you pay your student loans back too when you're out here, you know, doing, maybe you're a consultant or you're a motivational speaker, something like that that's geared towards social work, where you're charging by the hour for just your presence and your knowledge, you know. Just, you know, yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah, you're right about that, because I got one of the best supervisors, and me just looking at this experience in person, I'm like, wow, like, I'm blessed to be in the position where I'm at right now, because you see everything, the author side, entrepreneur side, just everything, honestly.
Yep. It's out here. It's definitely out here.
Mm-hmm. So, how does empowerment affect one's performance and motivation level? What are the relations between the two?
So, if you're not motivated, you can't perform well at all. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. And your performance, you can measure yourself. It doesn't have to be perfection, but at least you're putting forth a strong effort, and you're able to increase your skills, enhance from the level that you are. But you have to be motivated to do that. You can't perform and then it doesn't have the outcome that you thought it was going to have, and then lose motivation, right? Whatever that outcome ends up being, that motivation should be stronger. Like, okay, you know what? Let me see what worked, what didn't work, and keep going from there. If you're finding yourself where you're undermotivated, it's time to really do some self-assessment and see like what's working, what's not working for you, the things that are making you feel the way that you're feeling, and if it's something that you can control, and if not, what are your next steps going to be? How are you going to re-empower yourself to increase your motivation, so that way you have stellar performance and you are proud and honored to put that performance out there, because that essentially, that's your brand.
Mm-hmm.
What you're putting out, that is your brand. And I've said it before and I'll continue to say it, every day is an interview, every single day, not just when you get to the job interview or you get that call or what have you. And so being intentional is really big in your performance, and just remaining motivated. Just keep on going, no matter what.
Mm. So, would you say that empowerment is important for the community development? Why and how does that tie in with social work?
It's very important. There are communities where there's been a lack of empowerment, and you can meet residents or community members that have lost hope for change, lost hope in policies, lost hope with gaining finance, just an array of things. And so individuals like myself who know that empowering that individual to feel like they have the right, and that they are validated, listening to them, acknowledging like, no, I hear and I see you on a community development level, is going to build stronger and greater communities. It's going to build stronger and greater families. I know that the pandemic has really, it's hit everyone so hard, and everybody's still trying to, I guess, recover, or just thank God I'm here. Let me make this day work. You know what I mean? Type of thing. And so the more that we can focus on developing healthy communities and focus on having real conversations without agendas with our community members, it's going to help them to see like, okay, I can have hope. I'm not going to wait for someone else to do it. I'm empowered to work towards it myself. Type of thing. And it trickles down to our youth as well, because think about it, our youth, they're the next doctors and nurses and farmers and, working in our grocery stores, case managers, things like that. When we're older and retired and things like that, these young people are coming up behind us. They're the ones. And so we need to make sure that we're pouring into them now. The positive affirmations, the validation, the support, all of that ties into the empowerment within your community development.
One last question.
Sure.
So with everything you've been speaking about, what plans do you have when it comes to advocating and empowering the minority community?
So we actually have an event coming up for World Mental Health Day in October, where we are speaking with youth. There's a distinction between like mental health and then like maintaining mental wellness as well, you know? And so having that conversation and then allowing the youth to tell us what that looks like for them. I think that one of the biggest things is everybody wants to be heard and they want to feel like they're being listened to. They want to be spoken to, like not talked at, but like I'm actually like speaking, you know, to you for the purpose of understanding and comprehending what you're saying, not for the purpose of a goal over here or for the purpose of reacting, you know, having some type of rebuttal. And so we will have more information about that, the location and all of that good stuff, the time of where it will be held. And we're really looking for the community, parents and youth to come out because, you know, our youth, things are different for them compared to how it was, you know, when I was growing up. We didn't have social media, you know, we didn't have, we had computers, but I'm not that old. We had computers, but we didn't have like all of the internet access that, you know, our youth have now, and the Facebook and the Twitter and the Snapchat and, you know, all of this stuff that they measure themselves by, you know. And as much as parents and mentors try to pour like that positivity, it still makes a difference when the people around you are wearing like the best dress and, you know, all this other stuff. And also, you know, we have to think about the things that are being put on TV. You know, growing up, we didn't have these adult shows here that are we didn't have the, you know, the love and all that stuff and the housewives of whatever. We didn't have all of that because there was more censorship on what was going on national TV because, you know, kids are going to be watching it. And now we're seeing a lot of youth are watching these shows and they're implementing the behaviors, they're implementing the looks. But then adults are saying, well, you're a child and you need to stay in a child's place, which it's kind of contradicting, right? Like if they're doing all of this and they're watching all of this, we can't expect for them to stay in that child's place because everything that they are consuming, once again, going back to that sponge, everything they're consuming is encouraging them to act like this. But then them realizing like they don't have the capacity yet. They're still maturing. They're youth. They're still growing. They don't have the capacity to fully understand the ramifications of the things that they are watching. And so I do feel like this conversation is not just going to benefit the youth and allowing them to know that they are being listened to, but it's also going to help parents as well. And we will have solutions to assist them with, you know, whatever their need may be. We'll have different agencies with their service information where youth and parents can take the information and reach out, or the agency can reach out to the families and put services in place. We're building healthier families. Healthier and stronger families is the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. Once again, I want to give a special thanks from SG Mental Health and Counseling just for you taking the time out your day to sit here and talk to us. I greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, until then, I will send you a follow-up email with everything and ask you a few more questions. But once again, thank you for taking the time out your day to talk to us.
Not a problem at all. Thank you for having me.
Have a good day.
You too.
There you have it, folks. Another episode of Let's Talk About It. If you want more information about our topic, please sign up for our newsletter for weekly updates posted here at the bottom. Let me go down to there. You should see it at the bottom. There we go. So click on that, copy and paste. If you want to more information about our topics, please sign up, name, email, and you'll start getting more information. For those who are viewing, if you have any questions, topics, or concerns, please DM and follow us at SG Mental Health CO. Once again, please follow us at SG Mental Health CO. And until then, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's quiet the brain's chatter to reflect on what matters. Mental health is everything in a world full of actors. That's why you gotta stay woke. If you form toxic bonds, they gotta be broke. Whether it's enemies, friends, or family folk. Wellness is the wealth. Love yourself and show it care. And make sure anybody else do the same and keep it there. Keep the toxic on the low. Use your throat chakra more. Surround you with the best support and keep your head up facing north. While departing from the need to be understood, right and light, and embracing the sensation of just experiencing life. Loving and respecting, honoring, not neglecting the parts of ourselves that process what we stressing. The generational trauma, the being struck by the drama, the being the person of color in a hot pursuit in the summer. It's enough to drive you crazy, have you bouncing off the wall. Shout out to SG Mental Health Counseling for answering the call. Now let's talk about it.